Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm Cheryl.
And I'm Charles.
People ask us all the time, how do we get along living in a small space? So today's video is travel plus relationship.
Taking my chances along with my dreams.
So we want to share some tips with you all, what works for us in our relationship and living in a small space for people who are RVing or thinking about RVing. These are the things that work for us. So our number one thing is we feel communication is really super important, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's something that I think really works well for us. And it's if there's something that's really on your mind, not necessarily bothering you, but it's on your mind, just express it, right? And we talk about things all the time. I mean, there's no miscommunication between us, I don't think, but
never. And I really have a short attention span. I can't remember so long, so I need to say it right away and get it out of the way.
yeah, a little
and then it's over.
Yes, yeah, exactly. That's true. So, it really is important to just kind of get it out there. We discuss it, hash it out, and then we move on, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's really a win.
Yeah, for us that's really important.
Really, really important, for sure.
Our next tip is love and affection. So for everyone, this looks different.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we like to hold hands, so we're with the touchy-feely kind of couple. But that doesn't work for everyone, and that's okay. But we feel that you feel the love in your heart, you have to show it in some way, right? Whatever works for you, but for us, the holding hands.
Yeah, I think it's important to just reassure the other partner that you feel the way you do about them, right? I mean, you have to have love, obviously, and you can't fake that.
No.
And so for us, it comes natural, and it's something I feel is important. So as guys, I think a little tip there, it go a long way with just showing a little affection, a little attention, and a lot of attention actually.
Yeah.
And I feel that it's something that we both need and we want as human beings. So I think that's important to do.
Yeah. And it doesn't work for everyone because when we first met,
Oh my gosh.
Charles was, putting his arm around me, touching me. I loved every second of it. And a friend of ours, she was like, oh my gosh, he's like pawing you all the time. I couldn't take that. I can't stand that. I was like, well, I'm loving it, so don't worry about it. So
Yeah.
So for everyone, it's different, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And all I do is put my arm around her back, pawing up on her arm. But I think that was, just a natural thing, and that's a good thing you liked it, right? Because here we are.
Here we are.
Many years later. So.
Yeah. So the next thing we think is really important is trust. Trust between a couple is like, they should probably all be number one, but we have like 10 tips and we have to put them in different orders, so not necessarily where they belong, but trust is really important, right?
Yeah.
Because you have to...
It is extremely important, but it's different for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. So I think past experiences maybe in other relationships carry forward, and they shouldn't. Because, when you buy a car, it's different than the last car you had. You might have all kinds of mechanical trouble with that, but that doesn't mean this new car is going to have the same experience. So I think that's important. And, trust is built over time, right? I mean, we, just being together, seeing how the person reacts, things like that. And this is, as I said, not our first rodeo for either one of us, but what's really cool about it is there's a tremendous trust. And the thing is that I think it starts with what you said earlier, is love.
Yeah.
And
it goes together.
It goes together.
And trust is earned.
Correct.
So when you said it takes time, it's because it's earned for sure. So I believe what I heard you say, I'm like a reliable car.
Yes. Yes. You're like a reliable Ferrari,
Oh, I like Ferrari instead of saying like Toyota or something.
Yeah, no.
Good job.
Yeah. No, I wasn't gonna go there. But it's so true, and you're easy in that regard to trust, because again you're very open and transparent. And I think that's again goes back to communication. So if somebody doesn't say anything or keeps things inside and kind of bottles up, and then you see a different demeanor in somebody, I think that's it leads to maybe issues down the road. So again, we have that communication and trust, and so it works.
And these are the things that work for us.
Yeah.
What we feel are is important for our relationship, and what helps make our relationship stronger.
Yeah.
And helps us live in this small space. So.
Yes, exactly. But it really it's easy, right? I mean, would you say? I mean, we don't look at it as being small because we talk about it often.
Yeah.
When we first got together, we said, "Hey, if we lived under the bridge in a box, we could do that.
As long as we were together.
As long as we were together."
Yeah.
So it really is not the space. I think it's the relationship and the trust and the love and all that goes along with it.
But I do have to add on that topic that when you took me to the beach,
Yes.
I really did like living on the beach.
Yes, you did, and it was really tough to get her out of that location because wow, yeah.
The beach was a special place. So. Yeah.
But
we could have lived in a box.
Yeah, we could live in a box on the beach.
On the beach.
There we go.
There we go. That's a happy medium.
Yeah, for sure. What else do we have?
And our next topic is happiness is an inside job. We feel you can't depend on your partner to make you happy. Your happiness comes from within, right?
Right.
Because I think that's like a dividing point in a relationship. If you're waiting on your partner to always make you happy, that's not the way it should be, in our opinion,
Right, yeah. It's a heavy burden.
It's a heavy burden.
Because who knows what really makes you happy, really, like deep down inside, kind of happy. For us, first of all, you get to know the person that you're with, right? And knows what really does make you happy. And I know being at the beach and seeing the sunrise, the sunsets, all that really makes you happy. So,
really makes me happy.
So make it happen, right? Make it happen. And same for me. Whatever I like coffee in the morning. You get my coffee, and I love that. And it's a real special touch. So, again, I think it's a matter of caring, loving, and getting to know that person, and whatever makes them happy. It's simple, right? It's simple. It's not a big deal to make somebody happy. I don't think, if you get to know that person, right?
Well, relationship. I mean, spouse, but any relationship is a give and take. I mean, you got to do both. You can't always take, right?
That's right.
So you got to be a giver in order to take.
Yes.
You give, you get.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
Give up to go up, is what we say.
Give up to go up.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we already said we shouldn't depend on your partner making you happy, because we do our own things we are very often on the same page, but we like different things because we're different people. So,
right.
When Charles is doing something he enjoys, I'm doing something I enjoy, and then we do things we enjoy together. So you shouldn't depend on your partner for that.
Yeah, for example, like I'll go play golf,
Right.
with the boys or what have you, or just by myself, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done that, but you usually join me, as far as when I go by myself.
If you go by yourself, I drive the car and I take photos.
Yes.
Because that's as much golf as I can play. It's taking the pictures.
Taking a picture, right? Yeah. And you take some amazing pictures of those golf courses, let me tell you.
Yeah, see, I make the golf course look good. But
yeah, for sure. But, it's like anything else. You go out, you're together, you have fun, do it together or separately. And again, it gives you that space sometimes that, maybe people need. Mm-hmm. I personally don't have a problem being together 24/7. Call me crazy, but I know we talk about it all the time. It's like we enjoy each other's company so much that it just works, right? It's okay.
And we say the next thing is that relationship shouldn't be work.
Right.
And now when you say that leads into that, because you shouldn't have to try hard in your relationship, right?
Yeah,
You shouldn't have to work so hard. I mean, relationships are work because
Right.
you have to give and take and
for
so.
sure.
But it should be able to flow and it should be easy, and you shouldn't have to be like thinking about it every day because the love comes from your heart. I mean,
Right.
so you know that shouldn't be hard. That shouldn't be difficult. Once you love somebody, like everything else flows,
Hmm.
falls in place.
Yeah. I mean, we have one life to live, right?
Yeah.
We should be extremely happy every minute of the day,
Every minute.
every day. And, you know, yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you there.
Yeah. So the next thing that's important for us is that we share the same beliefs.
Mm.
And I think most of our relationship stems from our belief. You know, we have a lot of peace in our day because of our belief. You know, we don't stress and worry about, we don't sweat the small stuff,
Not at all.
and it's because of our belief system.
Yeah.
I think
Our
right?
faith is
Our
important.
faith
And,
is-
you know, what's interesting is that, you know, we feel it was always a God thing for us
Yeah.
because we met under, you know, interesting circumstances, which
Yeah.
let's share that, right?
Yeah.
We didn't talk
Yeah.
about how we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were introduced by mutual friends, V&V, our friends Vic and Veronica, who we love dearly.
Mhm.
And they always say if this relationship doesn't work out, they didn't have anything to do with it. But they had everything to do with it because this is the best thing that ever happened to us. And from the minute I met Charles, you know, when I was alone, I went on a couple dates and I thought, ooh, this is not very pleasant. I'm not even a TV person. I was trying to think of what was on TV. When I met Charles and he, I mean, just kind of like put his hand on my back, I thought, ooh, that felt good. So that was definitely
Yeah.
love at first sight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for you?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. And you know, we go out, like I said, we, you know, go on a couple of dates. And it's just, it doesn't feel natural. And you know, we met, as we said, by a mutual friend, and we went to, I guess it was you know, a restaurant, and
Yeah.
we sat down and we had a drink or what have you, and we started talking. Before you know it, it was like they were closing the place, and then Veronica, our rascal there, she says, "Hey, I've got to run," you know, and I wound up going with them. I came with them, I should say,
Yeah.
and they drove, and they left. They said, "Hey,
Yeah.
Cheryl, can you take him home?" And it was
When
about
she-
maybe a mile away, right?
She said to me, "Can you take him home?" And my first thought was, not my first thought, I said it out loud. I was like, he doesn't have a car? Because I was thinking maybe I should rethink this now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, right, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But yeah, and I totally felt like it was a setup, but it was a good setup.
Yeah.
It was the best setup.
And it was a setup, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
But
So-
you know, and the point being is that it just, the conversation just
It was
went on and
easy.
on. It was easy,
Yeah, it
right?
was
And we just
easy,
talked about
yeah.
everything.
We talked for hours. We turned around, they were mopping the floor, and the chairs were on top of the table, and we had no clue that the place was getting ready to close.
Right, it was
So
like there was nobody around, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And well, I mean, her accent. I mean, really, you could just, I could just listen to it all day, every day.
Because
So-
he was trying to figure out what I was saying.
Oh no! I was enamored by it. It was awesome. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out where it was from, actually, and then, you know, she told me her story, and
Yeah.
you know,
Because the place was closing, so we couldn't stay any longer.
yeah,
And nobody ever guesses where I'm from. So
right.
yeah,
So it's pretty cool.
yeah, very cool. So
Yeah.
yeah. So
What else we have?
the next thing is that don't let the physical space dictate your relationship. Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you live in a mansion or in a tiny house or an RV or where you live. If you have a good relationship, that shouldn't mean anything, you know?
Yeah.
So because we both work inside the RV, and sometimes, you know, we're both attached to our computers for 8 hours a day before we can like even go outside.
Right.
And it's never been an issue because we do our own thing, you know. We because of all the things we shared before,
Yeah.
we make it easy
Yeah.
for each other.
And that's a good point because, you know, we both speak the same language, so to speak. aside from English, except your version of English.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were in the financial services industry, and we are in the financial services industry, and so I think that's important. So we first met, shortly thereafter.
Charles recruited me.
Yeah. I saw the potential, and I think something that was been a great career for me. Over 40 years, so something that I felt proud to bring you in, and you might enjoy it. You might help you. So at first you're like, no. I've got to get a license. I got to go through all this thing. So, but it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. And here you are. How many years later? 7 years later.
Yeah, 7 years later. Best thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But a lot of our friends said it was a bad idea. Because we were going in business together, we got an office space, we were working together, and everybody said, on a new relationship, we had only been together a few years, that's like a really bad idea. It's probably going to wear on your relationship. But it was the best thing ever, because now we were on the same page, we were going to the same appointments, same events, we spoke the same language, because now I know insurance language as well, so
right.
it was the best thing ever that we worked together. So don't let anybody dictate what they think should be good for your relationship.
And that's an excellent point, because we always say at the end of the day, it's you and me.
Just you and me.
You and me.
Yeah.
We love our children. We love our family. We love our friends. I mean, incredible. We're blessed to have all of that. But at the end of the day, it's really something that, we need to communicate. We have to be on the same page. We have to be together, in most things. And so, it's the last thing we say every night.
Every
night.
At
the end of the day,
it's just you
and me. And so, it's pretty cool.
So the next thing that we think is important is finances, financial. And I don't have a financial plan. I never had a retirement plan. I always had a fund, a vacation fund.
Yeah.
And that was my idea of a financial plan. And I still think fun is really important.
Yes.
As I'm getting older, though, I do think about my retirement. Am I going to work forever? So the best thing was, my hubby's a financial advisor.
Right.
So he gets to take over all the financial burden, responsibility, advice, whatever. So this is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's not something that should be an issue if, again, we're talking about communication. And so, Cheryl works for her money. I say her money because I don't ask what she does with her money. I don't want to know. I don't care. But, the same token is that I think that she looks to me to say, hey, should I do this? Should I do that? And that's when I'll chime in, and say, yeah, I think it's a great idea, or what have you. We'll go out to dinner, and she'll, often pay and things like that. And it's, and it's nice. It's a nice gesture because, it's in a relationship, it's both, right? And so if you work, I work, it should be, mutual. But, having, combined checking accounts, things like that, that's open for, everybody to work through. We don't happen to have that. We have one account that's like kind of a house account that's, both in both our names, and then the other accounts, you have yours, I have mine. But, maybe just, I think it's important for women, I was going to say as a man, had been in a second relationship, let's say, or third or fourth or fifth or whatever, how many people, are out there that have different relationships, learn from that and say, hey, have your independence. Don't, be kind of locked to another person to where they're depending too much financially, and have a little independence. So just saying it, for women, I think they should really look at that.
Yeah, I started working when I was 12. I should be retired now because I've put in the years, even though I'm not at that age. Mm-hmm. I started working since I was 12, and I always had like my own money in my pocket. So it's probably like really important to me to always have like my own money in my pocket and not have to ask
Absolutely.
anything, you know, and that's really easy with Charles, you know, to
Yeah.
financial part. And I really like to pay for dinner because he always goes like this. Oh, it's good to have a rich wife.
That is so true. Oh man, that's just so funny. You know,
Yeah.
we laugh every time.
We
you know?
laugh every time,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And one of the last points on our list is date nights.
Mm.
We really try to have 365 a year.
Yes. Yeah, we work
Pretty
real hard
much.
at that.
We
Yes.
work real hard at that. But we feel it's really important to have time together for yourselves, whatever, and have date nights. I mean, if you have kids and so you can't do that. But keep it fresh, you know, keep it. And this lifestyle, of course, living in a tiny space has nothing to do with anything. Because every day is an adventure. I mean, it's always fresh. It's always something new. New places, new faces. Oh my goodness, that rhymed.
Yeah, that was
But,
good.
yeah.
You're a poet and you even know it.
So you agree because you love date nights.
Yeah, I love date nights. And you know, and it's so important, right? I mean, it keeps that connection strong. It keeps the excitement, you know, going. And it, you know, quite frankly, the experiences that we've had and will have
Yeah.
are awesome. I mean, it's just something that we can look back and talk about and reminisce and laugh and cry and whatever. But these are things that are, I think, are very important. So again, gentlemen out there, date nights. I
Date
don't
night.
care what, you know, you've got to. It really, I think it's really important. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the good thing with RV living is that no matter where we roam, we are always home because we bring our home with us.
That's right.
So we hope that in some way our tips and tricks for our relationship, if you're having problems, can help you, you know, if it can. And don't forget, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and the notification bell.
And if you're in a small space, just have a big heart
Yeah,
and a big relationship. And it'll work.
it'll all work out.
Yeah, for sure.